Okay, so this is going to be kind of a different build. I was just been enjoying the modifiers, and I like the sanitation modifier a lot. That's the one. We'll talk about this real quick. The global modifier, sanitation. So this sets enemies on fire within a radius. When the modifier is active, each unique enemy set on fire adds 1 stack of sanitation, which grants extra damage to burning enemies up to a maximum of 2+ stacks. For each enemy currently burning, repair armor every second. 3+ stacks critical hits inflict burning on enemies. You level it up. Mine's at a 5. So damage per stack is 7%. Duration's 55 seconds. Cooldown's 45. Explosion radius kind of happens at the beginning. It's 20 meters. Max stacks is 10, and my repair per second is 110%. You'll see once you get to level 3, you can do 5+ stacks on each kill. Adds 3 seconds to the duration. So if you keep getting kills, you'll keep extending that duration. So you do want to be, there's a few ways to use this. One is if all of a sudden you're kind of ambushed or in a pickle, you can kind of trigger it and it'll burn them. You get yourself out of a situation, get extra damage, or be intentional about it as you get to know the missions, the control points, the way they work. Even doing retaliations are somewhat predictable-ish. You can trigger this and you can get it to run a long time. I mean, I forgot which mission it was on. Chiefs District Union, Legendary. I use the same global active modifier, and if you've ever run that, there's a point where these helicopters come, and when that first helicopter comes and they drop down, I trigger it then, and I've been able to finish clearing that first section, both parts of the hallway section, and both parts of the following kind of hallway section. I've been able to keep the burn all the way through there and use it, and you can kind of fly through it, and that's on Legendary solo. Even in a group of just a couple of people, we did that same thing, and it was really fast. So this is pretty cool. If you're going up against factions, make sure you're using the right thing. I think I'm going to go run against some hyenas right now, so do this. If you're going against legendaries, batter up's pretty good because there's nothing for black tusk or white tusk here. So use something that makes sense. So anyways, I like that one, and of course, there's lots of videos on the modifiers. I won't go into all of them, but specifically this build is around sanitation. I also hope to do one around say cheese, because similarly it's a status effect one. I've still got to finish leveling this up, but this does something similar where but if you have a shield, when triggering it increases the range, but it blinds enemy and reduces the cooldown. For each blinded one, it reduces your cooldown, so you can shave off a bunch of time and get it back. And so you can see when you get your levels up, your radius increases, including a shield, and then the cooldown rate is just kind of 1 second currently. But that'll be the next one. So for now, we'll focus on sanitation. So what I'm doing here, and sorry, I have a bunch of loot to go through. This is not optimized by any means. I wanted to try and leverage the Tinkerer mask, which we got at the end of the last season, and then do something that would do burn. So Firewall, you get 20% extra burn damage, plus you get the Crusader shield, Striker shield, which will give you a damage bonus in the range in front of it. So you can use that to help do more damage against your enemies as well when the shield's out. And then I went with a 3-piece Exuro or Zero, whatever it is. I can never say it right. So you can increase burn duration. I don't really care about skill health, but the burn damage, figured I'd try that out. And then 1-piece golan gives you 10% status effects. 1-piece Electrique gives you 10% status effects. If you were to use that say cheese modifier, you could use the named Electrique. This is something I almost went down this path because the Lavoisier or whatever, that gives you perfect galvanize, which will give you bonus armor. You could run intimidate on the chest in that case and do extra damage. And then I'm using obliterate here to try and do this. Using measured on an AR here, so the top half has a higher rate of fire but less damage. Second half puts out more damage. And then my secondary, and this will work for any status effects, I'm running pressure point. So this amplifies weapon damage by 15% to enemies under status effects. Burn, blind, bleed, ensnare, all those things are status effects. So this will do some extra weapon damage. And I know the range is kind of a cheesy representation, but I was kind of playing around with it a little bit just to kind of see what it would do. We'll just bring them up close and personal here. All right, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to shoot this gun right at center. It's not going to be super impressive, just to show my stats. Since this is not optimized, these are not good rolls on here. I just kind of crafted this. I am running almost 54% crit hit chance and 98% crit hit damage. So certainly there's optimizations to be had. I think I have some crit hit damage. Crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and then this is just kind of garbage. 2 armor cores for a little bit of safety. All right, so if we do this, you can already see, like, not the best, 468 when we get down to the end of the magazine, because you get the extra weapon damage. Okay. So there we are, DPS 3.2 million. Oh, my damage loss hit, that was garbage, but you can see what the crit hits are getting. So, not the most impressive thing. This is a little bit harder to demonstrate. Okay, so this is just with the shield. It should be in range. So I get a little bit more damage out of there. Not much. I probably need to throw a different modifier on the shield. Hey, I said clear. There we go. It's still named. Alright. The other problem is ammo management with this. Cool. So let's go ahead and light this guy on fire. Boom. Okay, so he's burning. So already you're seeing those damage numbers go way up. It's even without the shield. It's too bad they're off my screen because it's console and it can't be very smart. But yeah, you can see I'm getting over 1 million on crits when it kind of caps out. 1.1 million. And even at that reduced damage, it's still over 600. And see, I keep getting kills. So if I keep getting 3 seconds to my timer, try a little headshot action. Obviously, I'm going to do even more damage there. 1.2 million, 1.5 million. And I can go shoot some other things around here too, light all these guys up. So you can see you can do quite a bit there. So I did just run a control point before starting this because I wanted to just test it out in the field, and it actually worked pretty good. I didn't get downed. Another benefit, we'll take a quick look at the specializations just in case you're not familiar. So Firewall, what we like about this is 20% burn duration for this particular case. 30% health on kills. Okay, that's helpful. Your armor kit recovers 200% armor and 200% health over 10 seconds. So if you do have to use a full armor kit, it will give you a little bit extra like boost so you can continue to take a little damage. Another neat thing when you're not in PvP is if your armor breaks, it does apply burn to enemies around you. So if there's guys around you and they're at least within 5 meters, even though you might be putting fire damage on the folks in front of you, if your armor breaks, they'll burn too. You can get out of the situation and burn them up. You get a flamethrower too, and these cluster grenades, which can do some damage. So, all right, we got that. Now I'm going to go embarrass myself doing a control point. Now let's just see what happens. I had just done this one, which was a good one because I haven't reset my map and a spell here. I want something where I can approach in, not to necessarily bias the way that this will work, because there's certainly advantages and disadvantages. I mean, it could run in through here to this one, because it's kind of level ground. This one, or sorry, maybe not that one, but I guess any of these are pretty good. You can race up in on this one. This Red Dragon's a little bit harder, but Hotel Infirmary is good. Where it gets tougher is like you do, I think, like Sleeping Giant. I think that's one where they're down below you. This one isn't too bad. It's Outcasts. I should just stop worrying about it and just go do one. How about we just reset my map, because it's been a bit, and I know that I have retaliations I gotta do still. Snooze fest for 5 seconds. And I like that the cat meowed right before that happened. Alright, cool. Do a little fast traveling. And since this, even though it's using, I'm not using strike or anything, or gunner, I am going to be more fragile, which means I will, again, probably die. Still got 17 seconds on this cooldown, so I might slow my roll here a little bit. Two, one. All right, let's go. Pray for Mojo. Doop, 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 doop. Hello, don't mind me. Boom. Oh, guys, hiding up top. Nope. Getting that bonus armor from my shield taking damage. Oops. You reload faster than that. Oh, I don't like that whole sniper action. Why are they screaming so much? Alright, that worked pretty nicely. How much time I got? I only got 19 seconds. I shouldn't dawdle. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in time. When you're at full stacks, it does give you like a little bonus at the end. Sometimes. Crud. I'm not going to get there in time. This could be ugly.
Friendly combatants nearby.
Yep. Nope. I only want to be the only one shooting through the windows, okay?
This thing is done. We'll take care of them.
Oh boy. Means I got 6 seconds left. Keep tucking and rolling. Ow. That was a good explosion range. Nope. We got a resource convoy coming in. Things are about to get interesting. There's another status effect. Doing some good damage. Oh! I missed you. Well, you know, you gotta do whatever you can. Oh yeah, with the hyena one, if you shoot the shield, it'll do damage to the guys around them. Unless they're burning, of course. I needed to do that burn. There we go. So that shield break, armor break, caught him back on fire, and then I was able to put out that damage. I'm proud of us too. Thanks for nothing.
Supply room access unlocked.
So you know, it's not like this isn't some like build that's going to make you unstoppable and go through and destroy everything in sight. I think with some optimization or maybe some different gear piece choices, it could be pretty cool. Maybe I'm over-indexed on status effects, but we know that causes damage. And the 3 pieces, Exuro or Zero, whatever, I'll just keep saying it, however, that will be focused for burn and burn damage. Whereas I don't think there's any other gear that does something similar for blind. But that could also mean that you could, I mean, you still use Tinkerer, you could use, you know, 4-piece Striker if you really wanted to, or, you know, and then do something, or, I guess you could do a 4-piece Striker with a chest and that Loss-Hero backpack, and then use Say Cheese and do it blind. That would work. I mean, you wouldn't get the weapon damage from Obliterate, but it would work. That could be beneficial. Certainly, you could run a different thing here. I just didn't want to keep rolling or keep crafting an Electrique backpack to get a better talent, and the likelihood I was going to get a talent and 2 red attributes, the grit red attributes, so I could change the core, was pretty slim, so I just kind of went with it. Bloodsucker, you could use that too with Intimidate, because if you're getting kills, you're going to get bonus armor, and then with Intimidate, you get extra damage. So if I know I've got gear with Intimidate on it, so we'll just get rid of this garbage real quick and just take a look here. Yeah, so Intimidate, while you have bonus armor, gain 1 stack each second up to a max of 9. Each stack increases weapon damage by 4% to enemies within 10 meters. And that's just the standard Intimidate. That's not like perfect Intimidate. So, if you do that and you're getting bonus armor, again, whatever that is, what is that, 36? So you can have 36% extra damage potentially, depending how long you have bonus armor for. And if we were to go back and take a look at Bloodsucker, that adds a stack of 10% bonus armor for 10 seconds, max stacks 10. So if you get a couple quick kills, all of a sudden you have 30% bonus armor, but you do get 10 seconds of it. So 10 seconds of bonus armor, as long as it's not eaten up real fast. And then you get that, as long as for up to 9, one stack for each second up to a max of 9. So for 9 seconds, you'll gain a stack. And it maxes out, so as long as you keep it there, it'll stay maxed out. So if you keep getting more kills, you'll keep staying on the bonus armor. So there you go. That's another option as well. And one that maybe I switched to. I was just trying to get more status effects, thinking that it could do me some good here. And then, again, you can use Galvanize. If you want to do the blind route, that's fine. You have a few different options. So that's kind of it. AR-wise, use whatever. This one's pretty powerful. It doesn't have the highest rate of fire. You don't have to use measured. You could use a different weapon. Again, the bottom half gives you 30% weapon damage. Top half, you lose 25% weapon damage, but you fire 25% faster. You could just You could run like a police M4 or a carbine 7. You could run 2 police M4s. You could run FAMAS, whatever. You just want to put out a bunch of damage and do it, whatever makes sense to you. Pressure point for sure in this case as one of the talents, because of the amplified weapon damage for status effects. You want to make sure you're getting those status effects, whether you're using some way to catch someone on fire, foam them, blind them, whatever. The other neat trick is just to go back to your modifiers. So while this one won't trigger a status effect necessarily, quicksand will on True Suns. So if you shoot their little tank, their little foam tank, that will spread out to 20 meters of the target, and they'll all be under status effect, kind of like the fire thing. So again, this is where something like Galvanize can help. But that's a good one because that pressure point will work on this. Scorched Earth is an interesting one. This is another burning focus thing. And they do burn until they die. But if they're not a red, I did Roosevelt just a short while ago as part of the daily, and finished up one of the sections, and there was NPC, a yellow grenader with like pretty much full armor, who caught on fire from me blowing up the named enemy's tank. And I just sat there for like, I don't know how long it took. I swear it was a couple minutes, and just watched them burn. I was ticking them down like 39K every second or something like that. And I watched them until they burned out basically and fell over. It was a very long, slow process. So there is part of a journey will be achieved by doing that. So make sure if you do it, it's a bunch of reds. It'll go a lot faster. But anyways, they'll stay under status effect. So if there's a bunch of them within 7 meters of that canister exploding and igniting them, they'll stay burning the whole time. They will shoot at you eventually, but they're not great. They don't consistently shoot at you. But you can just leave them to stagger around burning and focus on all the other bad guys. They'll still take pot shots at you, so you have to keep that in mind, but then you can go back and get them. So these two for sure will give you some sort of status effect if you hit the tanks. And this case, it explodes. This case, it also explodes, but doesn't actually kill anybody until you shoot them. So that's it. Again, 3-piece Exuro for Bernie, 1 Golan for status effect, 1 Electrique. Each of those gives you 10% status effects, so that's 20% extra status effects. This gives you 20% burn duration, and which I really think is more like for skills, but the burn damage is at 40%. You could run sticky if you're gutsy, fire sticky bomb instead of this. It's always an option too. So anyways, feedback's always great. Again, this is just something I put together because I was thinking about it and found that it actually worked. All right, take it easy.